Hi guys, it's Aerei. Welcome to my first art video on this channel. Kind of. I actually used to do speed paints when I first started this channel, but those are bad, so I made them private. But anyway, this is actually not my first speed paint ever. If you didn't notice about me, I had a channel before this one. It was my first channel, and it was focused all about art and just speed painting my life away when I was really obsessed with the Powerpuff Girls. That was me just a few years ago, actually. I believe maybe not a few. That was like 7 to 8 years ago. But anyway, this is my first art video, like modern art video on this channel. And if you didn't know this about me also, I recently tried to make a change to my channel by changing up my content. So I used to be like a more of a general, like do whatever I want channel, and now I want to focus more on art and music because those are my top two passions. And yeah, this is going to be like the first art video of this year, I guess. This is also kind of new to me, like narrating over a video, especially with no script. If you didn't know this about me also, you guys are learning a lot about me, but I don't like talking without a script, and I don't like doing stuff like improv and on the spot. I like everything planned out. So doing a video like this is going to be a little challenging for me, but I'm going to try. So let's focus on the art for a little bit. Right now, you can see I'm drawing, obviously. I'm drawing a commission that I was paid from a person on highrise. It costs $20. So yeah, by the way, my art is so cheap and no one wants to buy it. So if you're interested in art and you want art from me, you should buy my art because it's really, really cheap. Anyway, this is a commission, and I actually drew this a few days ago. I believe it was like last week, and I'm just now making a video on it because I'm procrastinating on my next commission. Woohoo. But anyway, yeah, this is going off to a great start. Throughout this video, I'm gonna try to give some tips, sort of, and I'm gonna try my best to like focus, because if you know me, that's gonna be like my phrase. If you don't know this about me, I go off topic a lot, so I'm gonna try my best not to go off topic. But anyway, for this commission, I literally just went off topic. Okay, but for this commission, I was kind of struggling a lot with it, and I was being super, super ambitious with this because the outfits didn't really match the way I wanted it to, so I had to like kind of manipulate their accessories and stuff so it made a story in the drawing, if that makes sense. So like for this drawing, I wanted them to be like two buddies like relaxing after a photo shoot, and they're, you know, giving a toast to photos with their lemonades next to a beach in the sunset. So as you can see, I try to incorporate the camera and the lemonade and then the sun. I tried my best. Okay, it was really difficult to think of. This took me a few days to think of, and then like a day to sketch. This is actually like this process took me a couple days to record also, because I kept having to like stop and start again because I was busy doing like things in between drawings, so I had to keep on stopping and starting it over again. So in reality, I mean, this drawing technically took me 3.5 hours, but if you take it to days and how it was stretched out between the days, it took me 3 days to do. And it's all for $20. Yay, we love being underestimated for your art. Anyway, so yeah, here's me drawing the background first. One tip that I'd like to give everyone if you're trying to start digital art, or just art in general actually, if you're doing a background, do the background first and then the characters, because I don't really know how to explain it, but when you draw the background first, you can manipulate the characters to fit in the background rather than drawing the characters first and manipulating the background to fit with the characters. And it just makes more sense because the background is so much more complicated and there's so much more work put into making backgrounds, for me at least. So manipulating the characters is way easier to, you know, go about my drawing process. But anyway, here's me starting to do line art for the characters, and that's kind of funny to me is that I like doing line art a lot more than literally everything else. Like, line art is like the first part of art that I like, and then second is like lighting effects. That's like the top two, and I hate coloring. I hate sketching sometimes. Most of the time I hate sketching, but sometimes there's some good parts. And then I also hate shading, so it's kind of funny because like a lot of artists that I know really hate line art. But like the thing about line art is the reason why most people don't like it is because they're not doing it right. Like, there's like a pet peeve of mine when it comes to watching people do line art where they act like the line art's like sketching, when like line art for me should be like, you know, straight lines and like consistent, like, I don't know how to explain it, like consistent with like size of the brush. Like, it should all be like clean, you know, and most of the line art that I see, especially from like beginner artists, is not clean. And maybe one day I'll do a video about line art because it's one of my favorite parts of art, like I said. And I mean, I don't know why it's hated on so much. It's like the best part. I hate coloring because coloring takes so much work and there's so much to do for coloring. Like, you have to make sure the colors like match kind of like the same tones and whatever, and I don't really know any of the vocabulary for this. I only took one art class in my life. So I don't really know how to explain it, man. Like, coloring, awful. Like this right here, when I was coloring this lemonade jar, I was like, bro, it looks like pee. Like, how do I make it not look like pee? And it just ended up still looking like pee to me. Like, how do you... It's very appropriate talk for this video. Look, it literally just looks like it. But anyway. Also, one thing I like about digital art is that you can do this. Like, you know what light boxes are? Light boxes are basically like you have like a piece of paper over a light box, and it makes like the lines like more clear to you, so your line art will be cleaner. But for digital art, you can literally just make your own light box. You just put like a contrasting color against another contrasting color, and then it's just easier to see, and you can just like change the colors and do whatever you want with it. Also, for digital art, there's an undo button. That's like that's why I don't like traditional art, because there's no undo button, and it's so hard. It's so much more harder. So much more harder. So much harder, I meant. I don't know, man. I don't know how traditional artists do it. I just can't. It just doesn't work. Anyway, more and more line art. I also hate... Okay, the only thing I hate about line art is that, like, if my sketch literally looks just like how I want the line art to look like, like, I can't just replicate it. I have to actually like draw over it and make sure it's perfect, and when it's not perfect, I'm just like, that's okay. Here's me coloring. Literally the worst part. The worst part of art, coloring. It's just like, I don't understand, like, it's just so much work. Like, for me, like, I always make different layers for each thing that I color, so it's like easier to fix later on if I make a mistake. So making a layer for every single like thing that I have to color is so annoying, but I need to, because it's like something I have to do. And then once you think you're done coloring, you're not done, because you still have to shade everything. Coloring is so stupid. Anyway, but like the thing is, if I leave it just at line art, it doesn't look good. It looks like I didn't really work really hard on it, so I have to color it, or else it doesn't really look like my art, you know? I don't know how to explain it, but like, I feel like my signature thing about my art is that there's so many colors and there's so much happening at the same time. So if I just left it at line art, you wouldn't get the same feeling, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense, but you know, it's just I wish I could just do line art and then hire someone to color all the rest for me. It just makes life so much easier. Anyway, here's me struggling to shade. I kind of cheat my shading, because I do like general shading, and then afterwards I just go ham on the lighting and effects, and I just make it look like the shading was correct, when in reality it's really basic and it's not really. Because if you think about it, like the sun, like the source of light is not supposed to really touch them, I guess. Like, you're not supposed to see a lot of light on them because the board is covering it. So technically all their colors should be dark right now, right? No. I just go about my day doing basic shading, and then I just make the the entire thing super super dark at the end. So it looks correct. Maybe that's the way you're supposed to do it, but like I don't know, I feel like it's kind of cheating on my end. Also, coloring takes way too long. It should not take this long. Like, line art takes like 2 seconds to do, and then everything else takes so long. But hey, I'm almost done. Then we can get to the real fun part, which is lighting and shading. I like lighting and shading a lot because you can just go messy with it and it doesn't really matter because you can't really notice if you were messy with it. And here we go. Here I do this line art trick that I do with all my pieces, which is just duplicating the line art twice and then making like a 3D effect with it, but instead of using just blue and red like normal 3D. Oh, there's my thing about like cheating the shading. But anyway, instead of making it blue and red like normal 3D stuff, you just use like 2 contrasting colors that are kind of in the same palette. So for this one I used orange and yellow, which you could kind of see when I do the other line art stuff, trick thingies with the other things. Wow, my vocabulary is so large. Anyway, here's me struggling to make that wall. Like I said, I was really ambitious with this, so I don't know why I decided to make this wall. I mean, I really didn't have to, but I made it, and I hate drawing wood. I hate drawing wood when it's like wood planks. I can draw trees, like I like drawing trees, and I just don't like drawing wood planks. I also don't like drawing what's it called? Cushions. Like that. Like literally I drew everything I hate drawing in this piece because it just makes sense with the items, you know. Also for that chair, I was referencing like this other chair, this like woven straw chair thing, but I don't know how to do that, so I just didn't do it. And then here's me making waves, or like struggling to make waves because I didn't have a reference to look at, so I was just kind of winging it and trying to do it all from memory. Honestly, the only like backgrounds I like doing are beaches, which is really funny because I don't really go to the beach, even though I live like very very close to the beach. I like drawing beaches, even though I never go. Here's me adding more lighting effects, just making everything look darker and more saturated so it's more dramatic. Me adding lighting. I don't really know how lighting works in this case, I was just kind of guessing, but it's probably wrong because technically you're supposed to have multiple strands of light with the wall because there's multiple slats open, but I only made 2. And there's me trying to do that like a rainbow lens flare thing, then I gave up because it looks really bad, so instead I just put bokeh and like sparkly effects, and like I tried my best. Okay, I tried my best. It ends up looking decent anyway, but it was a struggle to draw this, especially with no references at all. Saturating, and then that's it. Watermarks. I tried signing it, but my signature is too big, so I just didn't sign it. That's how you get your art stolen. But anyway, here's the finished product. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you like videos like this where I just like talk forever and ever about art. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.